Welcome, everyone. We're back with not quite a fireside chat, but with a version of this that we're going to call a walk and talk. We'll be doing a couple of these, though each will be a little bit shorter than the previous fireside chats. But let's get to it. My name is Josephine, and I'm a community manager, etc., here at Iron Gate, and I'm here with two of my colleagues to talk a little bit about Valheim and specifically about the Ashlands. Let's start with some brief introductions. Who are you and what do you do? Let's start with Jonathan, who have not been on one of these before.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan, and I do a lot of different stuff. I usually call myself a tinkerer. I guess I'm mainly coding, but doing a little bit of everything. Talking a lot about design with Robin and Andreas, and yeah, that's me.
And Robin, who are you?
Hello, they say I am Robin. I am a generalist artist, art director, and lead of Ashlands, I guess you could say. Working together with Jonathan and Andreas, planning out the Ashlands.
Indeed. But let's get to the Ashlands, essentially, then. I want you to talk a little bit about what actually goes into creating a Valheim biome. Like, what are the steps to create one, and what do we need in total to get a complete biome?
Well, first you need a pinch of salt. You need 2 tablespoons of butter.
A couple of eggs.
Couple of eggs. You need to break some eggs to make some biomes, yeah? There's so many things that goes into making a biome that there's no clear-cut recipe, I would say. But it starts with a vision. I think that it started just after Mistlands was released. It was in December. Or was it? I think it was.
Yeah, it was the November, December, depending on if you count the public test or not.
I think this was like 1 week before we went on Christmas vacation. I sat down and didn't have much to do, and I wanted to do something like sketch or do some concept art. I had an idea of Ashlands or what it could be, and I was thinking a lot about like Terminator 2, Judgment Day, the movie. If we could just not go for the classic fire demons and lava golems, if we could go for something like more undead, that's where it all started, I think. Yeah, I think somewhere there. That's where I actually did the concept first. I thought it would be cool with an undead kind of place with fire, and yeah, just rolled on from there, I guess.
Yeah, so the Charred were one of the earliest concept arts then.
Yes, yeah, and they were loosely based on the Terminator T800 model, because I thought it would be cool if you had like these charred skeletons just walking towards the player, not running, just like ever walking towards the player, trying to catch up and kill you. But yeah, that's where it started. Obviously, we have other creatures as well. Sorry, Jonathan, for cutting you off there, but we have other things there as well. But it started with the undead thing. Jonathan, please.
Yeah, I was just I didn't want to cut you off either, but like I just thought like more in the general sense of creating a biome. I think it's interesting that like when we create a biome, say like in one way we're saying yeah we're going to create a biome, but in a lot of ways it's like a whole new, I don't want to say an expansion, but a whole new area which includes a lot of different ingredients. Whereas in some games, a biome is more like, oh, we just want to reskin a few different things, have a new area, a little bit new generation and stuff, and it can be done in a very short time, especially if it's maybe a smaller game. But for Valheim, it's really a whole lot of ingredients working in every single area of the game, not just reskinning stuff. Like, we'd want to add kind of new, interesting things, both like in the design-wise, monsters, weapons, and everything. Add some new mechanics that go well with the game, and not try to reinvent everything either, which is also kind of sometimes difficult because we always have a lot of cool ideas and we want to think like, oh, this would be cool, but at the same time we don't want to like be building a whole new game in each biome, and I think it's kind of a balance there of how much new things should we be doing and how much should we be using the current systems that we have.
And
it's sorry.
No,
I was gonna say it's not something that we can plan out straight from the start either. A lot of it is very iterative in how we work. you'll implement something and then you'll test and then you feel like this is missing, we should do this, or this didn't work, we need to recall that and try something different instead. Like it's never a straightforward process, right?
Yes, that's absolutely the case. And I think many times when we go in and look at a new biome or creating a biome for Mistlands, even back when we were doing Plains, which was called Hearthlands before Heathlands before early access release. But I think what happens every time is we go back and look at Meadows to Black Forest transition and how that works. I think that is the best version of how to transition from one biome to the next. Getting a pickaxe as a tool, going into that biome, looking for the resources, stumbling upon the dungeons, going into dungeons, getting the reward of the Surtling cores, and finding these new things that you can all of a sudden build that you were not anticipating. So when we did Mistlands, we went back and looked at the Black Forest progression, and I think when we did Ashlands, we went back and looked at Black Forest to see again. But with that said, Mistlands took Black Forest and pushed it even further with the progression there, and we've gone back to doing a little bit more Mistlands kinda progression with some added touches, I'd say.
But the core mantra is always, what would the Black Forest do?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a perfect way to introduce, a near perfect way to introduce player to a new scary place and give good rewards and keep things interesting. We have so many biomes in Valheim, and if you just boil them down into the core ingredients, it's go in, it's difficult, get new resource, become master of that biome, kill the boss, and continue. You can only do that so many times before you're like, I think I'm done now.
Need to add something a little bit extra.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of lucky that it worked so well. Like, I mean, the Meadows to the Black Forest is a really like we keep going back to looking at that, and that first one worked so well was very good, because that really, I mean, it's the first one that players see and try and play, and that kind of that one works well is good, because then they actually stay in the game rather than if the first one was a little bit janky and it gets better when you get further in, then people wouldn't even get further in because they would maybe be tired of the game already. So I think it's a good how do you say, like they would go back to the first one and try to somehow make it feel like the beginning of the game, so we're not going crazy in lots of different directions.
Indeed. But let's move on a little bit in my list of things that I wanna talk to you about. Something that we have done a bit different during the development of the Ashlands versus the Mistlands is that we've been showing a lot more to the community. Back during the Mistlands, we were very secretive. We didn't show a lot, but this time we have shown. We've shown enemy concepts. We have shown some weapons. We've shown we've hinted at some of the new mechanics. And what effects do you think that this will have on our development? Like, does that mean that we constrain ourselves to certain things just because we have shown them, or does it give us more freedom in a way? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, as you said, I think that has been the case, like in a few different examples, where we do show things, we're not really sure about everything, but we want to share things, which is fun. But then people kind of make their own idea of what it is. Then we kind of realize maybe we don't know exactly where this is going. Maybe through testing and iterative process, we realize that, we're not sure what we want to do with this. But in some ways, we've already shown up certain things, and then we feel that, okay, we might have to cut this part. People might be disappointed about that, or can we figure out a way to make it fit? I think it's fun to share things, but it also makes expectations higher in some ways. We get a lot of comments and we have to consider those. It also makes people, progress-wise, people might think, it's going to be done soon, and we will take our time, finish it, release it when it's finished and when it's good. So, yeah, I think there's both good and bad sides of it.
I agree. There is good and bad in everything. Whatever you choose to do, I believe in life needs balance. Everything needs balance. In Mistlands, we were very secretively secret, super secret. We were the super secret agency of super secrets. And I don't really think that was a good way to do it. I'm not sure if I totally like the way that we're doing now, because in my mind, I think we lose some of the interesting jump scares that could happen, or the WTF moments that could happen if people have
Yeah,
already
there's
seen.
definitely like a lot of like an element of surprise that we're not gonna get simply because we've shown things. But we still have some things that we have a hard limit on never showing before the biome is released, and the audience will not know what that is, but we know.
Yeah,
I think there's always going to be a large part of players who will avoid everything, and they will still have these good moments. So I think the people who really care about it, they will probably not be spoiled a lot, and we also have those things. I do think it's a lot more fun for us, and I think it's really important to communicate with the community, especially since we have a little bit longer development times between our updates, so that we have a little bit more open communication. I hope that is something that's been appreciated, but I don't know.
I think as long as you go ahead and just say that these things might change, could change, and will change, I think that's where that's how you safeguard kind of rolling back some features or design choices. In the end of the day, I don't think it's always going to be worth it. Like if we have a creature that looks cool, but and we start creating it, we have an idea or a vision for it, but in game it just doesn't work. We've had that case with the Fallen Valkyrie. The Fallen Valkyrie has gone through so many changes that it's been like, okay, let's just kill her off. Let's take her off the table. But I think we're getting into making her feel much better. But she could have gone, and there's so many creatures that could have been in or could have been taken out. It's always going to be up to us, obviously, but things will change and have to change. I think for the good, for the greater good of Valheim. I think that's a good way to see it.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to take a little bit of a break now because we've gone through some of the things, and we will return for a second walk and talk fairly soon. Thank you for joining me today, both Robin and Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.